You ready to chat about this?
Ready, dude.
Today is an exciting one, guys. We talk about this, as you can imagine, between the two of us all the time, but it feels a bit interesting to share. I'm excited to share it.
Yeah.
It's just there's obviously a bit of a taboo about finances.
Yeah.
So today we are completely going to talk about the actual numbers. We're going to say how we personally make money as social media influencers.
We're kind of sharing for two main reasons. The first is because a lot of you guys comment and say, hey, I'm getting close to moving into my van and I am thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or maybe there's something else that you're doing that you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel about. And hopefully this helps you guys kind of plan ahead and understand how to maybe make your travel sustainable or something else that you're doing in your life sustainable by building a community and an audience on YouTube, because I think it's a really great way to have fun and do something that you enjoy and then also make a little bit of cash. The second reason is because we want to be really transparent with you guys and we see you guys as part of this, and so hopefully this helps you guys understand a little bit more of our lifestyle and how the heck we make this sustainable.
We've got 6 things here. Now, we only actually are able to make money on 2 of them, and about 90% of our money comes from one of them. But all 6 of these are viable options, and we either plan on making money in the future on a few of them or know people who do very well in all 6. Out of the 6, most of our money comes from YouTube, as you might imagine. So we'll start with YouTube. Our YouTube money is split into 2 ways, right? We make a bit of money every single month from Google's AdSense, which is the ad that plays before the video. So the ad that you skipped to get to this video, I don't know, maybe we made a couple cents off that.
Right.
I don't know.
Not much, but
a couple of dollars per 1,000 views, I believe is how it works.
This is in the last 28 days. We had 424,000 views across all of our videos, and we made $1,216 off of AdSense.
Correct.
Which is like, it makes a dent.
Yeah, no,
really
for sure. It makes a huge difference. I mean, that's like, a lot of our other money is very unpredictable. And while AdSense is fairly unpredictable, it's always just about the same, because like that was a bit of a low views month. On an average month, we might get more like 500,000 to 600,000 views. But honestly, the AdSense doesn't really change much. We're hovering right around about $1,000 per month. The second part of YouTube, and this is where a majority of our money comes from currently, is ad deals. So you guys might have seen this a little bit on the channel. Obviously, we work with different brands. Right now, we work with 1 to 2 brands per month.
You guys might have noticed a couple months ago we went pretty heavy.
Right. that was an accident. We accidentally just piled the brands on in 1 month, and then we were like, oh crap.
No.
we now we have to fit them in.
Yeah.
It's because we obviously we are very careful with the brands we work with, and I think that'll be a given. So kind of our parameters, and every influencer this is different for, right? Some have to be so specific, some can be more broad. Our parameters are obviously they've got to be vegan, they've got to be sustainability based. We really like working with brands that help you make money online, because I think that's our niche. And that's, I mean, I'd say saving money up for the road. That's kind of our niches, right? If you fit within that, and if we like your product, we'll probably
and you're doing well by your customers.
We make, on average, and this very much varies, we make about $3,000 per month. It's not like we've ever made like more than, I don't know, $5,000 in a month, something like that. We'll make, a big, anywhere from like $1,000 to $5,000 maybe. And I'd say our average month is about $3,000. I won't exactly say to the dollar what each brand has paid us, but I will say that you can kind of gather from the number of brands we work with and from that range how much we make. And an average month really is $3,000. That's an exact number. That's exactly what we make on average per month.
Yeah, and we're trying to move right now to limiting our brands because we don't want to bombard you guys with ads and that kind of thing. And so we are aiming for like probably 2, maximum 3 per month. So
anyway, that's YouTube, guys. That is our money maker. It's scary because YouTube changes all the time. It'll feel like we've got tons of momentum and YouTube is solid for the next lifetime, and then the next day it'll feel like YouTube's about to crash. And it's this crazy emotional roller coaster. And to be honest, it's one of those things where like we've built it over 2 years to the point where we can make about $4,000 per month. For 2 people, it's obviously not a huge annual income. It's enough for us.
The second thing is Instagram. So we have a much smaller following on Instagram, and also on Instagram I think you kind of have to have a much bigger following to have a comparable rate when you are talking with brand deals and stuff like that to YouTube. So IG is just completely different ball game.
Right.
We're not necessarily banking on Instagram to make us money.
We've never made any money.
We've literally never made
Not
money.
a dollar, right?
We've had a couple of times where companies have sent us products and we've posted them and like tagged them in a photo.
Yeah.
So if you've seen us tag brands in a photo, there's a good chance we were given that product. But again, it's always products that we really believe in. We definitely want to continue to grow Instagram and grow our community on there, but it's really because we enjoy it a lot. We love the community on Instagram.
Yeah,
your guys'
Instagram
comments,
people are the nicest,
your messages.
man.
Oh yeah, like it's so much fun to be on Instagram. So maybe down the line sometime when we're big enough to pull in some money, maybe we'll do it. But that's not something
not
we're
really.
on
So
at this point.
$0 from Instagram at this point. Not a part of our monthly income. Number 3 will be, let's say, product sales to your own platform, right? A lot of people would just say merch. Every single influencer does this different. But I think what a lot of people start to realize is you build this platform of like-minded people. And it's like, well, I could do one of two things. I could either just work with another brand that I like and sell to those people, and that's cool. But what would be even cooler is if I could deliver something even more custom to that group and make more money on it, right? So it's like, if I'm gonna get a little bit of money from this brand to sell their product, why don't I just make something that's a perfect fit and I make more money and our customers get a better product and everyone wins more, and we just kind of cut out this random brand, right? We have only done one thing with selling to our audience so far. We sold, actually this is like one example of it. We sold merch for a week to pay for Eamon and Beck's engine. Obviously we didn't make any money from that personally, but it was very successful. It almost paid for the whole engine. So it was just like that, it proved to us that our followers want to support us, and they want and more importantly, we can deliver something that's actually what our followers want, right?
Right. We knew at that point though that we had kind of cashed in the trust with you guys. And so we knew that for a long time we didn't want to sell another product, especially a material one like a shirt or a hat or something like that, because we had already, you know, kind of made that ask of you guys.
So it's an interesting thing. You got to think about, if you have your own audience, there's a limit to how much trust you have, right? We put out a lot of content, as you guys know. We're trying to do more of these sorts of videos where we sit down and talk with you guys, because we want you to actually get to know us as people. You know what I mean? Like we want, when we recommend something, for it to mean something. And I just feel like if in my opinion, there's certain things you can do that just unnecessarily limit trust. Selling merch is a great example of it, that if we did that every single month or pushed it constantly, it probably wouldn't mean much eventually. We're working on a really sick project for January that we're getting super stoked about, and it will be our first time really trying to deliver a product to our audience and see if you guys love it or not. Like, we're gonna put a ton of work into this, and hopefully it's gonna be like unbelievably cool and you guys can get really excited about it.
And hopefully it's gonna be something that is custom and tailored for you guys, and what we know that a lot of you guys would value in your life.
So in my opinion, selling to your audience is number 3 here. We so far have not personally made any money on it, but we have had a successful launch. So I'm gonna say $0 ever come into our pocket, which is true. But I think that eventually it could be extremely effective, because you are able to tailor things so specifically to your audience, and everyone really wins there, and that maybe your audience can pay less, or they know their money is going directly to you and you can make a bigger cut and you can deliver something specifically to them. So hopefully we can move out of the tier of just working with brands and move into the tier of just working with our own brand, which is why we're minimizing the amount of brands we work with and trying to focus more on developing stuff ourselves.
And P.S., we're super stoked about this project.
So could not be more stoked.
And can't wait to fill you guys in more. More information will be coming soon. But yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, we're excited.
This 4th thing is something that we have sort of started to experiment with more, and that is Amazon affiliate links. Some of you guys might not know, but Amazon has this program that you can sign up for where you make a percentage of any product that is sold from your account, essentially. So in our description box, you'll see a lot of links of all of the products, a lot of the products that we use. So a lot of van life related products like our fridge or our battery or lights, things like that, camping products, even our camera equipment, things like that. Anything that we would recommend to you guys that you can buy on Amazon, we have a specific link that links to our account. If you click on that link and look at that product, for a period of time. I don't even know how long.
I think it's 30 days.
Is it 30 days?
I think so.
Oh, wow. Anything you guys buy, now we get a small percentage. I mean, it's like minuscule. It's like 3 to 5%. Or if it's an actual Amazon product like Kindle or something like that, it's a little bit more.
Right.
That's something that we've been experimenting with a lot more. We put a lot of work into finding all the products that we would recommend. So if you guys want to check that out in our description box, it's always on every single video. So if you're ever curious about something, look at our
This is a new development though. Since Aubry did all the work to put the links in there, we've gotten that number up from like 100 a month to almost like 500.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So we're still testing and optimizing it and that kind of thing. And on the videos that when we put out a video where we mention to check out a link in there, we'll make a lot more because a lot more clicks are happening. So yeah, it's something that we're kind of working on and that kind of thing. Not at all something that we're depending on.
So Amazon, 100 to 500 per month. If we can get that number higher though, that is like a wicked smart one. Like anyone who has a freaking platform of any kind, start using that. Yeah. Because I'm blown away at like how easy that is to use. Obviously, we don't have a podcast yet. We have been recording episodes for our podcast that will be coming out soon. Just because we like these sit down chat videos and I just never quite feel like we've got the space to deliver them on our channel. So we want a longer form version for that. We are not starting the podcast with money making in mind. I don't plan, especially for our first season per se, we're not even gonna open up an advertising slot. Yeah. So I don't know how much people make here, but we found out recently from some friends that have a pretty good podcast, they can potentially make a lot. And I think a lot of the van lifers are newer podcasts. I don't know if there's a ton of big van life podcasts out yet. So I don't have data on how much they might make. Like I don't know how much our close friends make or anything like that. I don't know if it's a reasonable amount. I do know that the reason people start podcasts, at least in our space, is not to make money yet. I don't know of anyone who's like starting a podcast thinking this is a new revenue stream. Right. But I've been told down the line you might be able to make some money from it. Advertisers look at how your audience is going to respond, right? And so the difference between, say, YouTube and Instagram is really interesting because YouTube is a lot more personal. Right. So there's a lot more trust between an influencer and their audience. And so there's a lot more likelihood that their audience is going to click on something and buy something, right? Than Instagram. So YouTube is better than Instagram. We have, gotten opinions from people that podcasts are even more powerful than YouTube in some ways, where brands are seeing that and they're paying more for a podcast because they think that there's more trust there. Totally. So it all kind of just depends on what kind of platform you have. Again, podcasts aren't something that we're starting with trying to make money in mind at all. We can though. It's rock and roll, baby. We might in the future. Number 6 is Patreon, and we are including this in the list because a lot of people on YouTube, you might have seen, are starting to make money on Patreon. Right. So for those of you guys who might not be familiar with it, basically it's a separate platform where you can have patrons, what they call them, and as a patron you can sign up to support your favorite YouTuber or favorite artist or whatever. Yeah, it's like kind of like paying a subscription fee for your favorite channel. So Patreon is really awesome for a lot of people, and I think it's so great that a platform like that exists, especially for artists or maybe YouTubers who have videos where they put a lot of time and effort into them and that kind of thing. For our platform, we do not want to have a Patreon just because we don't see ourselves as artists. We're pumping out a lot of content. We're working with brands. We have other ways, like we've mentioned, that we're making money. And so we don't necessarily feel like it's a great call for us and our audience to ask you guys to pay any extra money. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope this was fascinating. Yeah. It is something we talk about all the time. Because the more we can make this our business, the more sustainable it is. And hopefully the more we can build products or anything that meets what you guys want and helps you get out there on the road and can rely less on these unsustainable things from other brands, the better. We've got to be supportive of each other as a community. And I want as many of you as possible to be able to sustainably be on the road. And if social media or representing other brands or making your own products or whatever is the way to do that, let's do it, man. So I hope this was interesting. Please leave your comments below of anything that you thought about this, any more specific questions. Obviously we're happy to share exact numbers. I mean, we're so excited to do that. I think the more communication there is, then the better it is for everybody. Because as a space, we need to be taken really seriously, because we are, we're a serious movement, and it's like, it's a real thing of people making a conscious life choice. This is what they want to do with their life, and they're really going for it. And I think that's a really exciting, serious thing. It's not something to just not push to the side, right?
Hopefully this was helpful, guys.
Yeah.
Again, would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Definitely don't hold back. We're not.
Let's go, man.
We're not going to get our feelings hurt or anything.
No, let's go. Let's rock and roll, man.
We're going to have a conversation. So anyways, thanks again for watching, guys.
Yep.
We'll see you in the next video.
See you guys.
Bye.